Here's to whiskey kisses, the peaty taste of sin.
Greetings, whiskey folk, and welcome to the official unbottling of Penderyn Patagonia, the Icon of Wales number 11. Alright, so, yeah, this is an interesting unbottling. Welcome back to Drinking Out Loud. My name is Adam Bradshaw, and I am confused and intrigued by this whiskey. This is going to be an absolute first for me. So, I love Penderyn. I believe it's the closest single malt whiskey to where my parents live, despite being English and my parents living in England. It's in Wales, which is not that far away. In fact, it's borders England, as you might well know. It's a great distillery. I've had some incredible single casks. I've had some great single malts from their Icons range as well. This one looks quite different. And I'm assuming it's going to taste quite different, and it's got a very different story. Let's find out more. So, it's got some interesting icons on there. It's got a ship called Mimosa. It's got what looks to be an Argentinian flag with a Welsh dragon in the middle. I think that's Argentina. Liverpool export, 28th of July, 1865. It's got some text. Maybe that will explain what's going on in this bizarre-looking whiskey. On the 28th of May, 1865, the finest group of Welsh immigrants began their long journey from Liverpool to Patagonia. Our finest blended malt whiskey in collaboration with Alazana. Right. This is not a single malt. This is Penderyn presents a blended malt, where they've blended Welsh whiskey with Patagonian whiskey. Now there is a very unlikely partnership, but apparently not as unlikely as it might seem at first, because 153 people embarked on the Mimosa, sailing for Patagonia to establish a Welsh colony and preserve their language and culture. Expecting the green valleys of home, they found a desert. Times were difficult, but mines dug, irrigation trenches, and the settlers traded with the local... Sorry, this is a script font, and I came across a word I'm not familiar with, so I had to try and pay attention to what the letters actually are. Tehuelche people, I think. Today, Patagonia has 50,000 Welsh descendants, 5,000 Welsh speakers, and holds the annual Eisteddfodau. I don't know what that is. Little Wales beyond Wales. So yeah, at the very tip of South America, there's 50,000 Welsh people. Or Welsh descendants. 5,000 of them speak Welsh. That's bonkers. I think that's more Welsh-speaking people than live in England. That's really weird. I love it. They found a distillery in Patagonia, in that Welsh-speaking area, that's making whiskey. So they decided to buy a bunch and blend it with Welsh whiskey. And I think that is a beautiful, incredible story. And actually... weird, because the reason why I'm bottling this right now is because it's in a tasting that we've at the time of being uploaded to YouTube, it'll have just happened, and it's about to happen in the time I'm recording it. And that tasting also has another whiskey, which is a blended malt of two distilleries, one from Scotland and one from Japan. So interesting. We've got two world blended malts from two different countries. That's really interesting. So anyway, this is 43% alcohol, comes in a fun wooden shipping crate, and looks like no Penderyn has ever looked before. Look at that. It has the Mimosa on the front, which is not just a delicious drink, but is apparently actually a famous ship. Our first blended malt whiskey in collaboration with Alazana. I don't know how to pronounce it. It has a little like leather neck thing going on. Are they buttons? Can I undo it? Oh, they are. I can take the neck thing off and keep it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm gonna do something fun with it. Put it back on for now. That's neat. I was blown away when I saw this available in the warehouse, and I had to get it for the store because it's just the right kind of weird. Whiskey exploration is what we're all about here at Whiskey Folk at the Strath in Victoria, and yeah, this is a voyage that I just had to take us all on. All right, let's crack it open, shall we? Although, I'm going to mention one of my favourite pubs in the world, and I'm going to out it as being possibly not true. When I first landed, when I first moved away from Scotland, the first place I lived was actually New Zealand, and I lived in Wellington. And my favourite bar in Wellington was the Welsh Dragon. It was right down the road from where I worked at the National Museum there at Te Papa Tongarewa. I fell all over that word. I would be fired if I mispronounced that. Te Papa oh my god, I'm forgetting it. I've forgotten the last word of Te Papa. I've been away from New Zealand for far too long. It has been 15 years. Te Papa Tongarewa? I don't know. My te reo Māori is very lacking right now, and I'm quite embarrassed that just got caught on YouTube. Anyway, Te Papa, the National Museum, just around the corner, is the Welsh Dragon, which claims to be the Southern Hemisphere's only Welsh pub. But I challenge that, because if there's actually 50,000 Welsh descendants in the southern tip of South America, surely they've got a pub. I don't think Welsh people are allowed to gather in such numbers without a drinking hole. That's probably one of the first things they did when they landed. Anyway, Tongarewa. Te Papa Tongarewa. Anyway. Alright. Absolutely zero cork pop. It was a silent but deadly unbottling. So, I'm not sure what to expect here, because I don't know what Alazana whiskies like. I couldn't really find any information either. Penderyn I generally find to be incredibly stone fruity. Deciduous. No, that's not the right word. Deciduous is a type of tree, Adam. It's the heat. The heat is getting to me. It's like 30 degrees right now outside, and because I turn off the air conditioning when I'm doing these videos because it's very loud, it's probably about 30 inside as well. Drupal. It's drupaceous. That's the word I'm looking for, not deciduous, drupaceous. It's a drupaceous whiskey, I often find, which is stone fruit. Just a fun word. Almondy on the nose. It's very reminiscent of marzipan. Sweet almond paste. Very interesting. It's like a polish kind of a thing. I'm getting some of those kind of notes that you often find in peated whiskey, but without the peat. Polish. I'm getting a little sort of brininess, a little sort of lime peel and salt. Interesting. Two flavours that I'm not used to going together. Quite strong. That I don't think I'm surprised that I've never really had them together, but they don't sound on paper like they'd work. It tastes like, I imagine, chocolate-covered rhubarb would. Rhubarb and custard's delicious. Never thought to have chocolate with rhubarb. Yeah, two very, very different flavours coming together really interestingly, unexpectedly well, I'd say. Yeah. It's totally chocolate-covered rhubarb. There's a powdered sugar, confectionery sugar kind of thing going on as well. A little floral, little... Not lavender, but like lilac-y. A little talcum. Talcum powder is kind of like the smell of marble dust. Yeah, it's like it's like having chocolate-covered rhubarb in a gravestone engraving place, whatever that's called, the place where gravestones get engraved. You've got like fine stone dust in the air as you're enjoying this sort of tart, creamy, delicious, weird combination. Man, that's wild. Yeah. I know it's a weird story. I know it's a very unexpected pairing. of Wales and South America. But it comes together really interestingly. Like, the whiskey itself is bizarre, but it works. Like, the flavours are mirroring the story in a weird way. Unexpected, but it makes sense after you've discovered it. It works and it makes sense. Just like a Welsh colony in the southern tip of South America. Well then, if there are any left after the tasting, you might be able to pick up a bottle online, strathliquor.com. Regular price is $136.43, and the sale price then, with 10% off for all members, is $122.79. But wherever you are in the world, if you're watching this from outside of Victoria, BC, hunt it down. This is something very unique, very different, and definitely a conversation starter. If you're part of a whiskey club anywhere around the world, this is one that you'll want to crack open and share with friends. It is just utterly surprising. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one.